My name is Mark. I hope you all are having a fantastic day or evening. In today's story, OP found out his wife cheated on him with a felon and then got pregnant. He kicked his cheating wife out, but then she showed up at his house unexpectedly crying for mercy after what happened with her AP. Now, let's get into today's story. I caught my wife in an affair 2 months ago. We had been together for 9 years, married for 5. I'm 28 now, so we met rather young and did a lot of learning and growing together. She always had guy friends that she would talk to, so when she mentioned that she was catching up with someone from her past, I didn't think too much of it. Honestly, I should have taken that as a red flag throughout the years, but me being a chill guy and not the jealous type, I didn't make a big deal out of it. We had been struggling in our marriage for the past 2 years. I've made a lot of mistakes, not cheating. Just many moments where I could have been a better partner. She also has made a lot of mistakes in that sense. Yet I had been trying to save the marriage, constantly trying to do things to fix our problems and always asking her if she wanted to talk with that goal in mind. She didn't want to try. She asked for a divorce and kept telling me our relationship was over. I asked her what her plan was. She said she would start making plans and let me know, which she never did. She was comfortable with me supporting her and trying to help her with her mental health problems. She's bipolar and has depression. For the last 2 years, it's been a big part of her life. In December 2020, her dad and I had to take her to a behavioral hospital for the whole month because she became manic. Once she got out, she was on medication, and it was obvious she wasn't the same person that she was before. I figured her wanting to split was due to her mental health. So it became another reason I took it easy on her, with her talking to all sorts of people and going places without me and hanging out with people I didn't know. I loved her and didn't want to stress her out or make the situation worse by getting onto her all the time. It just led to arguments. She would tell me she needed to live her life that way for her happiness. We have a 5-year-old daughter. She loves her daughter, but she wasn't focused on being a mother and wife. I was the one pushing for our family to stay together and find happiness in that sense. About 2 months ago, she didn't come home at night. She had been doing that for some time and would tell me she was spending the night at a friend's house. That's when I started to get really suspicious. She walked in the next morning, and I asked if there was something that I need to know. She said no and went to bed. For the first time in 2 years, she left her phone open, and I told myself it was now or never. I took the phone and walked out of the house and started going through it. I found the guy's number. Called him. No answer. Then I saw the messages. Proof that they had been intimate. I was shattered, but I kept my composure, went back into the house, and confronted her. She was like a deer in headlights. I kicked her out that very moment. Now she's pregnant with the guy. I'm positive it's not mine. We were last intimate in February, and apparently they first hooked up in March. Now my goal is to try to gain custody of my daughter and divorce her. The guy is a felon. I don't know what kind of lifestyle they plan on living, but I definitely don't want my daughter around people that make those types of decisions. I'm motivated by making sure my daughter is in a good place, and to make sure that she knows that she has one parent at least trying their very best for her future. I struggle every day still, but I have a good support group, my family, my friends, even her dad and some of her family say they are on my side. Everyone sees that what she did was completely selfish. It doesn't make a good image for her or the family in any way. I think a lot about things that I could have done better, but I realize it wasn't my fault. I tried my best to save my marriage. It was her decision. The week that I caught her, I found this subreddit. It's helped me tremendously, and I felt like it was time for me to share my story. It motivated me to hit the gym as well as concentrate on productive activities to distract myself from all the overthinking and to better myself for my future and my daughter's future. Thank you all for your time. Update. This past April, I found out my wife was having an affair. We had been married for 5 years and together for 9. When I found the evidence on her phone, I promptly kicked her out of the house that very day. That same week, she ended up getting pregnant by the affair partner, who was a felon. We have a 5-year-old girl together. My STB ex-diva was putting my kid around him. He has a 10-month-old, so she was using the excuse of having my kid with them so the baby could have a playmate. I told her that if she wanted to have time with her kid, then it needed to be just her and my daughter, not them. Well, neither of them wanted to listen to me. I filed for divorce and filed an injunction against her that said she cannot put my daughter around him. If she did, then she would be committing a crime. It seemed to have worked. It also seemed to have caused a rift between them. Enough to where she asked her dad if she could move in with him since she had nowhere else to go where she felt safe. Other than that, I don't know many more details. I don't talk to her much, only if involves talking about my kid, and even then I try to keep it short. Her parents and I are on good terms. They understand that it was their daughter's fault and respect that I'm the one that needs to be in charge of my daughter's life. I filed for full custody. My lawyer went ahead and threw in child support. My STBXW got herself a lawyer, and they offered to settle this in mediation. The first proposed date would have been in December. I thought about it and decided to postpone it till after the holidays, since all of our birthdays are around this season as well. Her due date is in January, and the next proposed date for mediation is in April. So that would mean if everything gets settled in mediation, it would be a full year since this all started. If she doesn't agree to my terms in mediation, then we go to court and it'll get ugly. I'm fighting for what's best for my daughter. A person like my STBXW can't be trusted and responsible with my kid based on her decisions as of late. This doesn't mean that I want to keep my daughter away. I'm willing to let her see our kid on a weekly basis, but the authority and decision-making for my child need to be up to me now. This is all so difficult. I have to make one of the people that I loved most in this world my enemy now. I'm full of anger, deep sadness, a degree of jealousy for someone having been with the woman I loved, and a level of confusion. Confusion in regard to how everything changed so quickly, and if what I'm doing is 100% right. About a month ago, she showed up at the house unannounced. She asked if we could talk, so I stepped outside and talked to her in the carport. She asked me for forgiveness, crying to me how she regretted everything, saying that she regretted deciding to keep the baby, telling me she missed everything about us and the family we had and our home. It hurt to hear it, because deep down I miss all that too. I told her that it was not that simple, just showing up and speaking those words. I said that I couldn't forgive her just based on that, and that the only way I would consider forgiving her would be for her to show it through her actions, and that I couldn't tell her what those actions should be. It needed to come from her heart, her mind. Yet, my forgiving her wouldn't mean I was giving her a chance to reconcile, or even a chance for us to be friends, which is what she asked for. My forgiveness would only be that, forgiveness. She chose to betray everything she had with us to be with this other person. She can't just backpedal. I told her that she was not allowed in my life, and I didn't want to be a part of hers. The most we could ever do is be co-parents. That's the price she paid for her decisions, among other things that will still unfold. I have to be this way because I gave everything I could to try to save the marriage. We were having issues, but I never cheated. I made other mistakes, but I worked to try to make things better for all of us. However, she's the one that made the biggest mistake, and doing so fully aware of how wrong it was. It's not fair to me to allow her back in my life. It's not fair to my child to confuse her in that way. I'm going to push forward and make a better life for my kid and me. I will be successful in my ventures, and that is the best revenge that I can get. I guess the main reason I wanted to rant is that the holidays and our birthdays are coming up. It'll be the first time in 8 years that we will have to spend the holidays and birthdays in this way. It hurts, even more so because I told myself I wouldn't acknowledge those days to her. I don't feel like texting her Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas. And honestly, I hope she doesn't text me either. On those holidays and on my birthday. I don't know if that's cold on my part or rightfully justified, but that's how I feel. The only time I will be willing to work with her is our kid's birthday, which is also coming up. That way my kid can have both her parents on her special day. Even then, I'll most likely ask her dad to be the middleman in certain things. Well, that's mostly what I wanted to get out for now. Maybe after the holidays, I'll rant again to prepare myself mentally for the mediation. I want to thank this subreddit once again, though. On my most difficult days, I come here and find advice and motivation through other people's stories. Maybe one day my completed story of surviving infidelity will help someone else. I wish everyone a good holiday season. Let's be around those people that do love us, Let us enjoy that holiday magic even during these turbulent times. Take care and keep strong. Wow, OP. You are doing everything right, even though it hurts so much. You could never reconcile and see that affair, baby. It will be a constant reminder of her actions. Stay strong, hug your daughter extra hard during holidays, and focus on the best future for her. Your ex put herself in this position and encased it in concrete. Because she is going to have a child with the AP, you will absolutely need permanent protection for your daughter since he's a felon. You need time to get her healthy enough to be around your child alone. That's the greatest action she can show, that she's set boundaries with the AP and will need to figure out a schedule that avoids him interacting with your kid, as difficult as it may be. Protect your child at all costs. Yes, your daughter needs a mother, but a healthy mother. Now let's get into today's second story. My wife's behavior over the last 8 weeks made me believe she was being unfaithful. I was proved right this week whilst on holiday when I found a text message from her work colleague that was sexually explicit. I confronted her and she admitted everything. It was essentially a kiss at a work party, breakfast at work regularly, and flirting by text message until he asked her to go for dinner and conveniently had a hotel room booked where they had sex. She continued to reply to his sexual messages as recently as the day I caught her. For context, I haven't been the best husband. Whilst I haven't cheated, I have neglected her sexually for a long time by focusing on my career and our lifestyle. She said I wasn't giving her what she needed to be fulfilled, and after resisting her colleagues' advances for months, she went with it when feeling low. I understand this and accept my part. I don't accept the betrayal. I'm comforted that she told me everything. It wasn't a complete admission straight away, but after a 5-hour conversation, I got it all. She said she still wanted to be with me, but there are so many red flags. She said she would call it off and wanted to do it with him in person. She doesn't want his wife to find out or ruin his life. She still wants to attend a work party knowing he will go. She described the last 2 months as a summer affair that would fade out as they had ground rules not to let it affect work or personal lives. I'm angry on day 2 since confession day. We have a 6-year-old boy and a truly amazing wider family group. Her actions are totally out of character, so we are all completely shocked she did this. I'm angry the man she cheated on me with goes home to his wife and family unscathed, and my world has fallen apart. I just turned 40 and need to make some serious decisions about how to move forward. Essentially cut and run or repair and try to make it work. I'm not 100% convinced what my wife wants. She's not street smart and she's a little naive. I imagine she just wanted to feel wanted so desperately that she made the ultimate choice to be unfaithful. Help, and sorry to all you other people experiencing the same. Sucks so bad. Hey, OP. First of all, sorry you are in this mess. Okay, the first mistake is that she does not get to call the shots. So whatever she wants moving forward is irrelevant, meaning the 3 points you mentioned is not something she can demand. As you describe her current behavior, then it looks like she was totally not remorseful about the affair. She is only remorseful about being caught. Right now, what she is doing is damage control. All that happens next is not in her hand and not in her control. You are in control, and you must take control. You got one thing right already. You may not have been the best husband, but that is not a reason to cheat. There is never a reason to cheat. She could have sat you down and told you about her feelings and that this was not working for her. Or she could have filed for divorce first and pursued another man after the divorce. There is really no reason to cheat. You need to take time in order to think about what you want, reconciliation or divorce. She must know that cheating has consequences, one of them being exposed. Exposed to her family, exposed to your family, exposed to friends. So you will need to tell everyone what has happened, and the reason you need to is that if she does it, then you will be the bad guy. Find the wife of the AP and tell her. She has a right to know she has been cheated on. It looks like your wife is more concerned about the well-being of her AP than about you. She does not want to ruin his life, but is perfectly fine ruining yours by cheating on you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment below with your thoughts on today's stories. If there is a story you would like to share with me, please do not hesitate to contact me. Take care.